Welcome back to the channel, Crypto Tro. I am Crypto Tro, bringing you the latest and the greatest in cryptocurrencies. And today, man, we're going to talk about DeFi Kingdoms and the recent AMA they just did. They announced some very bullish things, and one of those things is a new power up coming very soon. They also talk about some things as far as the market makers and going to a centralized exchange and the updates on it. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and also turn those notifications on, man. We're going to continue bringing content throughout this market on DeFi Kingdoms because this is one of the top crypto games out there. And I'm going to keep saying that. I know a lot of people say, Tro, you are a DeFi Kingdoms maxi. And if that's what you want to call it, hey, call it how you see it. I'm going to continue to talk about this because I am invested in this. And I believe they have one of the best teams in the crypto space, and they continue to give us updates. While some projects went dead out there, they still, even throughout this bear market, even with price staying the same for a couple of weeks, they still continue to put out good information and keeping the community updated on what's going on in the ecosystem, man. So make sure you stay tuned for all exciting things about DeFi Kingdoms. And also, I gotta let you know this. I am not a financial advisor whatsoever. So if you would like financial advice, consult with the financial advisor before going too deep into the crypto space because it is crazy right now. It is still the wild, wild west. We know a lot of things are coming down the pipeline as far as like regulations and things like this. So we truly don't know where the crypto space is going to go. And right now we are all just degens, really just investing or really kind of almost sort of gambling our money on these crypto projects. So always consult with somebody before going too deep into the crypto space because you can lose a lot of money. So had to get that little spiel out of there. Let's talk about it. DeFi Kingdoms. Let's look at prices today. So we see right now DeFi Kingdoms or Jewel right now is at 28 cents, up 2% on the day. So not too bad, man. Not too bad. Like I said, anything under $1 for Jewel to me is a buy. Just because we know Jewel is deflationary, and even if it's not a lot of players, right? Every transaction you make on a blockchain burns a small amount of Jewel. And I keep saying that. I just want to get that in everybody's head. Like, every time you do a transaction, small amounts of Jewel is burned. And the more volume we pump on the blockchain, the more Jewel that is burned every single day. So very, very bullish, taking Jewel out of circulation. And then we already know locked Jewel is going crazy. It's a lot of locked Jewel right now. I think almost a quarter of the supply is locked. So very, very bullish, taking it out of circulation, taking it off the market, and is not going anywhere anytime soon. So let's just take a look at it. I'm currently on Doubt Radar. We can see these are the stats for DeFi Kingdoms. So rank in general is 32, and we see DeFi Kingdoms is number 13 in games. But when we scroll down, we can see in the past 24 hours, unique active wallets up 2% at 8.66K. Then we see transactions at 439,000, up 3%. Then the volume is at 366,000, and the balance is 92 million, up 14%. And then we see February 18th, we had a lot of volume being pumped, $1.1 million pumped on the blockchain, man. So very, very bullish. Like I said, I love to see the transactions going up just because every transaction is Jewel being burned. And if we zoom out, we can see on February 18th was a very, very high activity day. But also we can see the transactions continue just to fluctuate around the same, around that 400,000, 300,000 transactions per day. So that's very bullish. Just wait till we get back to the bull market. We're going to see, a million transactions a day. And I know people like, Tro, that sounds crazy, but we already at 500,000 pretty much. Just think about it. Once we hit full on bull market, and that's a million transactions is kind of short stepping in my personal opinion, but I believe we're gonna see at minimum 1 million transactions per day on the blockchain, just because more people will come into the game once the narrative about crypto goes back to everybody's bullish. Because we know back when we were in the bull market previously, it wasn't even everything on the game yet. And I always say that. I know you just repeating yourself, but that's just true. That's just facts. The whole entire game wasn't out, and it still isn't out. So just think about it. If we return bull market in 2024, maybe, or whenever the case it may hit, just wonder if we actually have PvP out then. Like, the transactions are gonna go crazy, and more people are gonna be playing the game, and more jewel is being burnt. So let's get into it. The AMA. I'm not gonna go over the entire AMA because it is very lengthy, but I'm gonna go over the key things that I felt were really bullish in this specific AMA. So let's talk about it. So this is from Frisky Fox. He says, it's been a really busy week. Last week, we launched the deferred payments for locked tokens, as well as the token raffles. I had a brief overview of it last AMA. Current update is it looks like it's working well. Haven't had any issues yet. We've been monitoring that and get some better data internally, but just from my napkin map, it looks like it's done over 200,000 locked tokens so far for the raffles alone, man. So for the raffles alone, 200,000 locked tokens, and this is bullish for the actual power tokens, just because we know now that with the locked token feature, we get some small amount of burn going on with the locked tokens too. So that actually increases the utility of the power tokens, and also adds more scarcity and takes more out the market and just makes it appreciate even more. So Frisky said, I don't have metrics for other features yet, like summoning, meditation, circle, and etc. We'll see how we can expand that in the future. Also, Dual Season 2 ended last week. It's slated to start again next week. We've been hard at work so far trying to make sure all the features we want to squeeze in make it in. So there's some that we might launch halfway through the season as well, but they still are up for debate on that. Then another bullish thing, we had a really good audit from hacking that had some good feedback, or great feedback. That's been most of my day today, as well as the auction house feature. It's an older feature we're trying to bring back. I was able to get that up and running with tests, and now we're considering rewriting this as a diamond. It'll be more future proof that way. We would like to get that audited as well, since it will involve more contracts and assets on chain. Significant progress this week, but still a ways out. State upgrade system with Ava Labs, still working with Avalanche on that, trying to get the direction they would like us to go in, as well as figuring out how to get that back to Ava Labs in the subnet repo. I think those are the main things for me, so I hand it to Bolin and turn the camera off. So something else I want to point out was Dreamer. So as Fox mentioned casually, there's tons of going on the build side and with our partnerships. Leveraging on our strongest partners to co-market with them, feeling the love with our network we built and trying to make it bigger, while also trying to establish partnerships with those within the Ava Labs ecosystem, as well as Clayton and their extended network. One example of that is next week there are a few events in Las Vegas. One of those is DICE, a traditional and major gaming event. The other is MGS, a mobile gaming focus event. I will be going there solo and meeting a bunch of biz dev guys from Ava Labs. They plan a lot of networking events, and I'm fortunate to be involved with a few of those. Help them advertise their products, share our experiences with the subnet ecosystem, and etc. This is a good opportunity to help build networking and break down barriers with Web 2, which is more closed-minded to Web 3 gaming. He also stated how he will be on a panel with Ava Labs, which is exciting. It's more of a business development trip. We'll be packing my schedule with meetings to make the most of it, but DICE is about a 4K ticket, and I won't be attending that event. The week after is ETH Denver. We will have more of a presence there. Those are back-to-back, and I'm considering if I might join Bowling and team there, but we'll see. So another thing that caught my attention was the market maker side. So currently in KYC, giving them all of our personal information, pending a legal agreement to sign. We saw a draft of terms and we kind of agreed to it verbally, but it still has to go through our lawyers and theirs, etc. It would be great to see if it's signed. We can talk about it next week, but it still might be a few more they have to talk to. So I do have another SEX meeting today, or centralized exchange meeting today, but that's going to kind of round out our main focus. Nothing big and juicy to update yet, but I imagine there will be some fun updates with names soon. So very bullish on that. Talking to centralized exchanges, man, I'm telling you, once Jewel gets listed on a centralized exchange, their price is going to go up automatically. I'm telling you right now, we know we've seen it with other cryptocurrencies, and we've seen it with cryptocurrencies that don't truly have a utility. But Jewel has actual utility, and we know the power in Jewel, so it's going to go up once we hit a centralized exchange. All right, so the major things that I wanted to touch on, but also not only that, we know that new power ups are coming soon, and this is from Huber. So he said, hey guys, let's see. I don't have too many updates at the moment. Just kind of continuing on with the same trend as before. Been working with Workhorse on finalizing the next class. I hope you all enjoy that when we get it out. Other than that, just been continuing on with the same work that I've been mentioning before. Still have a bit more to go on with level 10 profession quest and a tournament system. There's a lot of work going into all of this, but looking forward to getting that out once we can. And we also do have a new power up coming soon as well. So maybe you can all speculate on that. Should be fairly soon that you all can use that. So very bullish on that, man. Very bullish. We know with the power ups, we have Lock Jewel, Lock S Jewel, and Lock C Jewel. So just locking up more Jewel, taking it off the market, making it more scarce. And now you can't use that Jewel until it's unlocked. And once we take it out the market, it just makes Jewel even more bullish. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go over the entire AMA, but one of the questions that I saw that caught my attention was the first question. And pretty much it was for Dreamer. He said, for the market maker, what is the acquisition process for the jewels they will be using? Are they buying it from the market, using it from the treasury, buying over the counter, etc.? So, good question. Some of this may be a rehash from a previous AMA. The agreement we are considering signing, that is what many of the tier 1 market makers use, is referred to as a loan optionality agreement. It's both a loan and an option, which can kind of also be thought of as a repurchase agreement if you're familiar with it. But essentially, we start by identifying an amount of the token that will be used to make the market between DFK chain and the centralized exchange. That needs to be held as physical inventory since there aren't any on the decentralized exchange with liquidity state. So we need to just essentially make the market manually using the inventory that will come from our treasury. However, the way that the loan optionality agreement works is that we identify X amount of Jewel, which is what we've been considering to start the list, or to list to start. We're not considering Crystal or Jade at the beginning, starting with Jewel as the cross-chain ecosystem token first, which should also be less exposed to volatility. That Jewel will be put in a wallet that's controlled by agreement in the form of a loan, and there is an end date to that loan. So that is how they will, pretty much come up with how the centralized exchange will get the Jewel they list for people to buy. So very, very bullish on that as well. Not going to read the entire thing, but that's just the gist of it, guys. And we got a lot of more questions on there. If you want to check that out, check out this Medium article. Easy to find on Twitter. Check out the Medium article. Shout out to Cujo. He writes some good Medium articles in the just pretty much summing up the AMAs for DeFi Kingdom. So big shout out to Cujo. Follow him on Medium and follow him on Twitter too. You can search it and follow him on Twitter and just go directly to the article to read the entire AMA. So that's my video for today, Crypto Cho. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so you can stay updated on all things DeFi Kingdoms. Like I said, Crypto Cho, I'm out of here.